Sarah Whitmore had always believed her life was perfect. She lived in a quiet town in Pennsylvania, with her sons, Ethan and Richard. Their home was filled with laughter and warmth. Everything seemed ordinary, simple, and safe. But life had a way of hiding secrets. One morning, a single envelope arrived in the mail. No stamp, no return address, just her name. Sarah opened it carefully. Inside was a photograph. It showed her late husband, David, standing beside a woman Sarah had never seen before. Behind them was a house she did not recognize. On the back of the photo, a message was written. "You were never meant to find this." Sarah felt a chill. Her world, once so certain, began to crumble. Later that day, her son Ethan came to visit. She showed him the photograph. "Mom, it's probably nothing. Just some old picture," he said, forcing a smile. But Sarah noticed the way he typed rapidly into his phone after she turned away. Something was wrong. Something he wanted to keep hidden. That night, unable to sleep, Sarah went through old boxes in the attic. Among the family keepsakes, she found a wooden box she had never seen before. Carved initials, W. David Whitmore. She opened it. Inside were a ring, a faded birth certificate, and a folded letter addressed to David. The letter read, "She can never know about the child." Sarah's hands shook. Her mind raced. What child? How could she not know? Then she heard Ethan's voice downstairs, speaking quietly on the phone. "She's found something. I'll handle it." Before she tells anyone, her blood ran cold. Her own son, her own family, and she had no idea how much they had hidden from her. The life she believed to be perfect had been built on lies. And now, Sarah knew that nothing would ever be the same. This was only the beginning. Sarah could not stop thinking about the photograph and the letter. Questions haunted her. Who was the woman in the photo? Who was the child her husband had hidden from her? The next morning, she decided to search the attic more thoroughly. She moved boxes and old furniture, her hands trembling. Hidden beneath a stack of old newspapers, she found another box, smaller this time. Inside were documents, photographs, and letters, some addressed to David, some to names she did not recognize. One letter caught her attention. It was dated 25 years ago, the year Richard was born. The handwriting was careful, precise. "Keep her from knowing the truth. The child's safety depends on it." Sarah's mind spun. 25 years. Her husband had kept a secret for 25 years, and now it was hers to uncover. She searched further. Among the papers, she found a photograph of a small child. The resemblance was striking. The child looked like someone she knew, yet someone completely unknown. Her heart raced as she realized that the child in the photograph could be one of her own sons. That evening, she confronted Ethan. "Ethan," she said, holding up the photo, "who is this? Why is this hidden?" He looked startled, then carefully composed himself. "Mom, it's complicated. You don't understand." "I deserve to understand," Sarah said, her voice steady despite the fear twisting inside her. "You and Dad, you've hidden something from me for years. I need the truth." Ethan hesitated. He opened his mouth to speak, then closed it again. His silence told her more than words could. Sarah realized that the betrayal went deeper than she imagined. Not only had her husband kept secrets, but her own son was now part of the deception. The attic, once a place of memories, now held only questions. And Sarah knew she had to uncover the truth, no matter how devastating it might be. This was the start of a journey she could not turn back from. The life she thought she knew was unraveling, and every hidden corner of her family had to be explored. Sarah could no longer ignore the hidden truths. Every day brought more questions, and every question led to another secret. She remembered the photograph from the first letter, the house behind, David and the mysterious woman. She needed to find it. She went through old town records and deeds, searching for any property David had owned that she didn't know about. It took days, but she finally found it, a house on the outskirts of town, abandoned, its paint faded and windows boarded. The address matched the one, scribbled on a forgotten letter she had found in the attic. She drove to the house, her hands gripping the steering wheel. The street was quiet, empty, as if the world knew she was about to uncover something it wanted hidden. When she arrived, the house looked lifeless, yet inside, it was filled with remnants of a past no one wanted to remember. Old furniture covered in dust, photographs stacked haphazardly, and letters scattered across a table. Sarah found more evidence of David's secret life, documents, receipts, and personal notes about a child she had never known. The house had been a part of a life she had never been allowed to see. She realized the truth. Someone had gone to great lengths to keep this life hidden, and the person responsible was closer than she wanted to believe. Returning home, Sarah confronted Ethan again. "Why didn't you tell me about this house?" she asked. He avoided her gaze. "I wasn't supposed to, Mom. You don't know what's at stake." "What's at stake?" Sarah pressed. "Our family? My life? Or something else?" Ethan hesitated, then whispered, "It's complicated, but it's dangerous." Sarah understood immediately. This was no longer just a secret from the past. It was alive, and it could destroy them all. Determined to uncover the full truth, Sarah knew she had to dig deeper into the forgotten house, into David's hidden life, and into her own family's tangled web of lies. She also realized one painful fact. The closer she got to the truth, the more danger she invited into her own home. The life she thought was perfect had been a carefully constructed illusion. Now, it was crumbling and there was no going back. Sarah could feel it everywhere, the presence of her husband's secrets, lingering like shadows in the corners of her life. Every memory of David now carried a question she could no longer ignore. She returned to the attic, searching through the letters and documents again. One envelope, yellowed with age, contained David's personal notes. He had written about a child, about someone he loved and feared, about mistakes he could never undo. The more she read, the more she realized how little she truly knew about the man she had spent decades loving. David's life had been divided, one part shared with her, the other hidden behind locked doors and hushed conversations. Then she found something more shocking. A journal entry mentioning Ethan. David had written about a lie he had told years ago, a lie that involved his youngest son in a plan Sarah could barely comprehend. Her stomach tightened. Could it be true? Could Ethan have been part of a deception from the very beginning? That evening, she tried to confront Ethan again. "Ethan, I found David's notes. I read what he wrote about you, about the child," she said. Ethan froze. "Mom, it's not what you think," he started. "Then tell me. I deserve to know." Sarah's voice shook, though she tried to stay calm. Ethan's eyes darkened. "Some truths are better left buried. You don't understand what's at risk." Sarah's heart ached. She did not want to believe that her son was involved, that her family could betray her, but the evidence was undeniable. She spent the next few days piecing together David's journals, the letters, and photographs. Patterns began to emerge. Every hidden meeting, every unspoken conversation, every lie carefully constructed over decades, now formed a picture of a family built on secrets and deception. Sarah realized she had a choice. She could ignore it and preserve the illusion of her perfect life, or she could confront the truth, no matter the cost. For the first time, she understood that uncovering the past was not only about learning the truth, it was about protecting herself from a family that might not be what it seemed. Sarah had chosen. She would uncover the truth, even if it destroyed the life she had once loved. Sarah could no longer ignore the questions that haunted her. Every letter, every photograph, every secret she uncovered pointed to one mystery: the child her husband had hidden. She dug deeper into the documents from the forgotten house, birth certificates, adoption papers, and old correspondence all hinted at a child who had been erased from her life. Then she found a photograph that stopped her heart. A small boy, not more than 5 years old at the time, holding a toy David had once given Ethan. The resemblance was unmistakable. This child looked like someone she knew. Her mind raced. Could one of her sons not be David's? Could Ethan, the son she trusted, be connected to this hidden child? She confronted Ethan again. "Ethan, I found the photograph. I know about the child," she said, holding the evidence in front of him. Ethan's face changed. He went pale. "Mom, you shouldn't be looking into this," he said, his voice tight. "Why? What are you hiding?" Sarah demanded. "I have a right to know." Ethan hesitated. "It's complicated. Some things, some people, they can't handle the truth. Some things." Sarah's voice broke. "It's my life, my family. I deserve the truth." Ethan looked away. "Mom, if you dig any further, it could destroy everything." Sarah's resolve hardened. "Then I will face it, whatever it takes. I will know the truth." Over the next few days, she traced records, letters, and old photographs. Every clue pointed to a carefully hidden secret, a child taken away, a lie maintained for decades, and a family bond built on deception. She realized the depth of betrayal. Her husband, the man she loved and trusted, had concealed the existence of a child, possibly even at the cost of her own son's trust. Sarah knew she was close to uncovering the full truth, but with every step she took, the danger grew. The shadows surrounding her family's secrets were alive, and someone would do anything to keep them hidden. She had a choice: stop and live in ignorance, or continue and risk everything she loved. Sarah chose the truth, no matter what the cost. Sarah had uncovered enough to know the truth was dangerous. The letters, photographs, and hidden documents revealed decades of lies. The child her husband had hidden was real, and the deception had touched every part of her family. She tried to speak to her sons, to confront them calmly, but Ethan's demeanor had changed. He was no longer the boy she had raised. He was guarded, secretive, and increasingly distant. "Mom, you need to stop this," Ethan said one evening. "You don't understand what's at stake. Some things, some truths, are better left buried." Better left buried? Sarah's voice was firm. "This isn't just about secrets anymore. It's about the life we lived under lies. I have a right to know, and I won't be silenced." Her words made him angry, and that anger revealed what she feared most. Her family could betray her. They had done it before. They could do it again. Soon, subtle signs of betrayal became impossible to ignore. Friends of the family avoided her. Strange calls went unanswered. Items in her home were moved, and Ethan began making decisions without her knowledge. The betrayal cut deeper than any hidden child or secret past. It was the knowledge that the people she had trusted, most her own family, could turn against her. Sarah realized she was isolated. The family she had built, the life she had cherished, had become a battlefield. She would have to fight for the truth alone, but she was determined. She refused to be manipulated, silenced, or deceived any longer, no matter the cost, because the truth was worth it, and she would uncover every lie, expose every secret, and reclaim her life from the shadows her family had built around it. Sarah had learned one harsh truth: her family could not be trusted. The lies, the hidden child, the decades of deception all pointed to one fact: she was in danger. She knew she couldn't wait any longer. Staying meant vulnerability. Staying meant allowing the people she loved most to manipulate and control her. She began quietly gathering evidence: letters, photographs, documents, anything that could prove the secrets her family had buried. Each piece of paper was a step closer to the truth, and a step further from the life she had once known. When she tried to confront Ethan, he warned her, "If you do this, Mom, it could get worse. You don't know what they're capable of." Sarah's resolve hardened. "I have no choice," she said. "I need the truth, and I need to protect myself." That night, she left the house. She went to a safe place, far from prying eyes, where she could examine the evidence in peace. Every memory of her past life felt distant, like it belonged to someone else. As she sifted through the documents, a pattern emerged. Every deception, every secret, was interconnected. Her husband's hidden life, the missing child, and her son's secrecy formed a chain of betrayal stretching decades. She understood now. The danger wasn't just emotional, it was real. The people she had trusted most might do anything to keep their secrets hidden. But Sarah refused to run from the truth. She would move cautiously, think strategically, and uncover every lie. Because if she failed, the life she had loved, the family she had believed in, would be lost forever. And Sarah Whitmore was not willing to lose again. Sarah had spent weeks gathering evidence: letters, photographs, documents, and testimonies, all pieces of a puzzle that revealed a family built on lies. She returned home carefully, knowing every step could be watched. Every glance, every word could tip someone off. She needed to confront the truth head on. Ethan noticed her determination. "Mom, you don't know what you're doing. Some things are better left hidden," he said, trying to block her path. "No, Ethan. This ends now. I need answers," she replied. She confronted the family at the dining room table, the same table where she had shared countless meals and celebrations. The air was heavy with tension. The photographs were laid out, letters spread across the table. Every secret she had uncovered was displayed for all to see. Richard's name came up, the child in the photograph, the hidden child David had mentioned. Questions flew, accusations rose, and long-buried lies surfaced. Ethan tried to defend himself. "Mom, I was only protecting you, protecting us." Sarah shook her head. No, you were hiding the truth. And lies, even with the best intentions, hurt more than any danger. The confrontation grew louder. Secrets that had been carefully buried for decades exploded into the open. Family bonds were tested like never before. Through it all, Sarah remained steady. She was not angry. She was determined. Determined to reclaim her life, to demand the truth, and to finally understand the family she had loved so deeply. By the end of the evening, the house was silent. The truth had been laid bare, and while the family would never be the same, Sarah had done what she needed to do. She had faced betrayal, she had faced lies, and she had faced her own fear. But one final step remained, one truth she had yet to uncover. Beneath the oak tree that had stood in their yard for generations, Sarah stood before the ancient oak tree in the backyard, its branches stretching high, its roots deep and hidden. Much like the secrets she had uncovered, this tree had witnessed her family's joys, their sorrows, and now it would witness the truth. She had laid out all the evidence, letters, photographs, documents, everything that revealed decades of lies. But the most important secret remained here, beneath the oak itself. With a steady hand, she began to dig. Each handful of soil felt like uncovering the past, each movement revealing what had been buried and hidden. Finally, she unearthed a small box. Inside were papers that confirmed everything: the hidden child, David's secret dealings, and the manipulations that had shaped her family. There were confessions, letters of apology, and documents tying her son Ethan to decades of concealed truths. Sarah felt a mixture of relief and sorrow. Relief because the truth was finally in her hands. Sorrow because the life she had loved, the family she had trusted, had been built on deception. She realized that forgiveness might never be possible, but understanding could be. And knowing the truth gave her a power she had never felt before, the power to live her life free from lies. She rose from the earth, the box clutched tightly in her hands. For the first time in decades, Sarah felt whole. The past could not harm her anymore. The family she had known was gone, but the woman she had become, strong, determined, and wise, was finally free. Beneath the oak tree, Sarah Whitmore closed the final chapter of her family's secrets.